Welcome to the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes. How's it going, man?
Yo, what's up? Finally lost.
Oh, now you see why I'm so happy. And joining us, live from Lambeau, Mr. Phil Bruxy. Phil, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Yeah, the Packers are on a bye this week, so they let me borrow the field for the show.
Impressive.
All right.
Wait. Why are none of us wearing hats this week? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't like it. I have my array back here for the viewing public.
Hopefully there's not too much of a glare on my end here. So.
We're recording a little bit earlier, so I'm dealing with the sun here coming in, but Phil's all the way outside, so he's obviously dealing with the elements.
Above me, blocking the sun. So.
Looking at the NFL games, starting out Thursday night, we had the Jets and the Broncos in what ended up being a much more entertaining game than what I think anybody originally thought.
I mean, was it entertaining though?
Awesome.
Yeah, it was high scoring, but I just thought it was bad football.
It's terrible football. Greg Williams continues to do what he does in dirty plays and undisciplined defenses. So, I mean, it's insane that he's still around now. I guess because his defenses can perform, but they're not this year. So, we are in week 4 of not firing Adam Gase, and I don't think he's being fired this week either. So, I don't know.
This is crazy. I mean, he's got to go.
Yeah. They are holding Sam Darnold out of the upcoming week because of the shoulder. I was surprised they didn't get a flag slinging him to the ground like that. It might be a little soft. I don't know. But I thought in today's NFL, slinging the quarterback to the ground like that would result in a penalty. But
that's WAFT.
Not me. I just thought it would. Bengals and Jags. Joe Burrow gets his first win. That was nice to see. That was a fun game. Joe Mixon finally goes off for fantasy owners with 3 touchdowns. So that's kind of what everybody's been waiting on. So nice to finally see that. Nothing really big on the Jags side. The offense looked better. DJ Chark was back. So I don't know. Anything from this game?
Nope, not at all.
Nothing.
Nobody cares.
Moving right along. The Cowboys and Browns.
Woo! How about them Cowboys? Man.
An interesting part, of course, they give up 49 to the Browns. They almost come back with a 24-point fourth quarter, but the Browns are able to not falcon and hold them off with an impressive run play from Odell. But the Cowboys look awful in defending.
Is there anything more aggravating when your team can score a lot of points, but they can't stop anybody?
Problem is, you're never out. You're never out of the woods in any game.
Yeah, but you're not gonna go anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm saying the problem is you're never not saying you're never out of a game. You're never out of the woods. You never put a game away.
He said you could be up 35-21 and you could still be in the game.
Okay.
But I mean, how about the Cowboys are a crazy, ridiculous onside kick away from being 0-4?
That's the point. One stupid Falcon play away, and they're 0-4, and everybody's losing their minds. Which, I mean, everybody's kind of losing anyway, but that division's trash, so they're always going to be in it.
They can still win it.
And here's another thing.
That's the craziest thing about it. That division is garbage.
Yeah, it's terrible. Even more so than normal. Like, they're not even beating each other. I mean, they're not even beating each other up. The interesting thing, Dak's contract negotiations, he's getting the old Matt Ryan treatment with inflated numbers because you're always battling. Come back, so your numbers look really good, and that's going to inflate those contract talks. So we'll see what happens with that. He's giving Dak a lot of leverage right now because he's having to, play outside of his mind just to, stay within these games. 500 yards, first quarterback I think ever with 4 straight games of over 450. I believe that's right.
That's crazy.
His pace, if you look at his pace, it's insane.
Wow.
It's insane for what it would result into a season. I think no quarterback's ever thrown for 5,500 yards. He's on pace for over 7,000.
It will last.
Those mega powers, man.
Yeah.
Get it done. Next game I have showing here, Lions and Saints, man. Lions and Saints, Detroit. I was on your team this week.
Terrible. This franchise is a joke. It's always been a joke since 1957. We have one playoff win. I know I throw the stat out there all the time. One playoff win since the Super Bowl started. It's garbage. How does Matt Patricia still have a job is what I want to know. What is it, 6 straight games or something that they've had double-digit leads that they've lost? It's which is an NFL record. They said on top of breaking the record the week before.
Yeah.
So it's garbage. And he's supposed to be a defensive guru. I mean,
it's insane. Not
It's
to tie everything back
terrible.
to me, but it's insane how the Falcons and Lions are in such similar situations.
yeah. It's terrible.
Defensive-minded head coaches with trash defenses. At least you guys got an upset win over the Cardinals. But yeah, they started off really well. Drew Brees is still just muddling along. We'll see what he gets when he gets Michael Thomas, because he threw the ball deeper, he threw the ball deep more often this week, I think, than he has in the past. But it's still nothing impressive. Emmanuel Sanders got involved more, 5 for 93. But yeah, I don't believe in the Saints. I'm just gonna say it.
No.
As if I needed to take a stand. Of course, I don't believe in the Saints.
I think you've convinced me, honestly. I don't think they're that good of a team. I don't know. After watching them so far this season.
They're better with Jameson there. I know most people think it sounds stupid, but I think he can. I almost think that they're a good situation for literally situational QB. This sounds insane, but if you're down, you need to get Jameson there and take Breeze out. If you're up, keep Breeze in there, keep him in there, and have him manage that game for the win. Because he won't make those mental mistakes that Jameis makes. But he also won't sling it like Jameis will, which is what you might need to come back.
It's a good idea, yeah.
Sean Payton's an offensive wizard. Stop running Taysom Hill all over the place.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that.
It's just,
I think the league
waste of a play.
The league's caught on to that.
It's figured it out. That's the thing with mobile quarterbacks. That's the worry with Lamar Jackson. Not saying Lamar Jackson is obviously Taysom, different realms. But I'm saying that's the worry that the defense will figure it out. And we know that they can figure out Taysom Hill. All right. Next up, Seahawks and Dolphins. Nothing really of note there. Russell Wilson. Continues to play really well. Chris Carson. Man, I don't know about thread. It comes in with was it ankle? Yeah, the roll play. Yeah, the ankle roll. And then he gets he gets evaluated for a concussion.
Yeah, and he came back.
He came back in.
They said, he got the wind knocked out of him.
Out of his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did play well.
It's not looking good for the Elkview River Rats running back situation.
Remember our bet, and we didn't do it. I backed out because I'm a wuss.
Which one?
At one point, we were going to bet. This is when I thought you had Ronald Jones and not Aaron Jones. We were going to bet on total running back points for the year.
Yeah.
I need to look that up and see where we're at right now because Carson's still going strong, so you might still have it. And Chubb was doing great before he got hurt, and that hasn't, he hasn't had to play without him yet. So
yeah, some idiot traded away Aaron Jones. So, oh wait, that's me.
Yeah, he traded him to me, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, next game.
Ravens and Washington.
Ugh.
We end this game with this will be the last time we see Dwayne Haskins start, at least for the Washington football team, I believe.
Man, they've already – didn't I just read or something that he's not even – he's third string or something like that?
How does that happen? Alex Smith. That's how that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alex Smith's never going to play. I don't see him ever playing again.
I don't want to see him play, but I do think he might.
Yeah, I don't want to see him.
Kyle Allen's not it. Kyle Allen was terrible.
I don't think he can walk, though.
The first time he gets hit low, it's going to be a collective hold your breath.
Yeah, wasn't it life-threatening when he got hurt?
Yeah.
Like, he almost lost his leg.
Life-threatening from – I know he almost lost – life-threatening from the disease from – or the infection from it disease.
Yeah.
The infection from it.
Did you guys see the pictures of that, by the way?
Yeah.
I didn't look at it. I'm not good with that stuff.
Oh.
They had to cut his flesh away, and you could see his bone. Like, it was out in the open.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
that's brutal. Washington, they're just ruining another quarterback. I have no clue if Dwayne Haskins is good or not. I know he's obviously not some revolutionary talent, but I mean, this isn't a fair shake. I mean, he's 4 games into a brand new head coach, his third offensive play caller, I believe. Yeah, because you have Gruden who gets fired, interim, and then Rivera. So yeah, that's his third. I don't know. McLaurin looks good. He continues to. I don't understand how he gets the ball when he's all their offense. And
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson starts to look a little bit better this week. So we'll see. Panthers beat the Cardinals. Are the Cardinals frauds?
It looks like they might be.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I thought they would be a lot better, and I don't understand how the Panthers are 2-2 without McCaffrey.
Yeah, Bridgewater's been playing pretty good.
Yeah, he had a good week.
Yeah, the Cardinals are a shock to me because I thought they'd be challenging for a playoff spot. Yes, it's only 4 games, but after the first 2 weeks, I was like, all right, they look all right. Then you lose to the Lions and the Panthers.
That's the thing. They're not quality losses.
No.
Yeah, not
and you got to still think they got 2 with the Rams, 2 with the Seahawks, and 1 more with the Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can talk about this. This NFC West schedule is crap outside of the division.
Yeah,
AFC East and NFC East.
I was looking at the Niners schedule. And I'll probably get a lot of flack
That's what
for
I
saying
said
this.
when we were doing the pick. Yeah, their schedule. What in
Their
the world?
schedule is this week. Don't they have like the Dolphins?
Yeah.
It's like who
After having the Jets, well, it gets
the
harder.
Giants? The
So it
Jets,
gets
the
harder.
Giants.
If we're looking at here, they've gone Cardinals, which was a loss. Jets, Giants, Eagles, which was a loss. Now they get Miami. Then coming up, they have the Rams at New England, at Seattle, Green Bay at home, at New Orleans, at the Rams again.
Okay, so it gets better.
It picks up, but that's why when we did our prediction show, that's why I have them at 12-4. Because not because I think they'll regress, but the schedule is what in the world.
Yeah, those first 5 games are just wow.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, John.
So next up, Vikings and Texans. The Vikings get their first win. They move to 1-3, and this is the last game. Bill O'Brien.
He's gone.
Gone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
He's
Bob.
heading to Detroit next.
Oh, gosh.
Not Atlanta. Don't say it.
That would be typical Lions.
That's what scares me. When Phil mentioned that earlier when we were talking, next head coach of the Lions or the Falcons, it's not. It's scary because it's plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see them go with someone like totally brand new, not off of like Belichick's coaching tree.
Or like the custodian that cleaned Sean McVay's office.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get some young guy.
What about like a Dabo Sweeney?
Sure.
I
I don't think Dabo will go there, but I've heard it rumored.
What?
I don't think he's leaving Clemson. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't think
I would never leave. Somebody, I think I shared it. It's pretty interesting. Somebody said, imagine if you told Bill O'Brien at the start of in the second quarter of the
I saw that,
game against the Chiefs when he's up 24-0, right? That was what the was. You're up 24-0, and you tell him you're never going to win another game as a Texans head coach. That's insane. That's insane to think about, but it ends up being true. All right, that's the Thursday and early game slate. Starting off with the afternoon, we have the Rams and Giants in a very low-scoring game, 17-9. Giants, maybe a sneaky good defense.
Yeah, the Rams had hardly any offense in that game. I watched a lot of it, but
Jared Goff. Jared Goff is probably. I don't know if I can think of anyone else. Maybe Lamar Jackson now after that shaky game he had with the Chiefs that has a higher gap of ceiling to floor.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is up there too.
Yeah, that was a weird game. I watched.
When it goes bad for him, it goes bad.
Yep.
He looks shook. It just looks terrible. If not for a Cooper Kupp runaway touchdown, he would not be anywhere near even the 200 yards that he had. I don't see the Giants. It's gonna be tough. They might go 1-15. Imagine if somebody would have predicted that.
Yeah, that's funny.
That'd be crazy. Somebody did say that. But...
Oh
well.
Did they? Okay.
I don't think so.
What we have? I have 5-11, something like that. 6-10, 11.
I don't even remember.
But Barkley, one small caveat that they lost their superstar running back for the year.
I said that before he got hurt, though. So
that's true. Colts and Bears. This was the ugliest game of the whole week.
Yeah, I don't even care about this game. This game was terrible.
Game was awful. The Bills and the Raiders, 30-23.
Yeah, what's going on with the Raiders? 2 in a row.
Man, the Raiders were driving and driving all game long. I don't know. That's the only thing that's worrying me in Buffalo is that defense doesn't look like it's locked down like it was. But then they just couldn't punch it in. I think it was.
Oh, they're most likely going 2 and 3 because they got the Chiefs this week.
Yeah. Talking with Matt, big Raiders fan, had them start 2-0, which they did, and then they have a rough stretch. If you look at their stretch is not easy either. Coming up, they go.
This is great radio.
It is great radio, isn't it? I have the wrong one. Okay, so they went at New England. They went at Buffalo. Now they go at Kansas City. Then they have Tampa Bay at home, at Cleveland, at Chargers, Denver, and then Kansas City. So it's a rough stretch.
Yeah.
But Carr is playing well. I know we predicted him on our show top 16 or not, I believe. And he's right at number 16 fantasy ranking right now.
Nice.
So he does some weird things in the pocket. He's got to learn. He's got to have a little bit better pocket presence. But as far as efficiency and driving the ball, here, let me show you this stat. I got a stat for you. Good radio. All right, quarterbacks. Quarterback 1, 11 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, 150 attempts, 7.56 yards per average. Quarterback number 2, 8 touchdowns, 1,000 passing yards, 144 attempts, 7.59. Neither of them have interceptions. That is Carr and Patrick Mahomes.
Wow. So Derek Carr is as good as Patrick Mahomes is what you're saying.
I think he's better, according to
Yeah, basically.
No, I mean, he is playing well. All right. Eagles and Niners. This was an ugly game, too. Nick Mullins looked terrible.
Yeah, he was terrible.
That pick was the worst one I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Right to him. Just never sees him. And then some stuff happened on Monday night. I'm not sure what. Do you think, real quick, on Monday night, Patriots and Chiefs, if Cam starts, do you think Patriots win that game?
Who knows? I know people like to say that, but the game plans turn out to be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
They might play defense a little bit different. I still think Chiefs are the better team.
Yeah. The score looks a lot, but this game is a lot closer than the score looks. But it's one of those games where you're watching it and the score might be close, but you're like, it's not happening. Or you're looks awful. So we might see Stidham this upcoming week.
Kansas City's game plan was a little vanilla.
It was. I agree.
So,
Yeah, I don't know how but they keep surprising me somehow. The Chiefs do. Like I didn't expect them to be as good, but it seems like they're always like in control of their game. I feel like they're never gonna lose. It seems like.
I think someone shared. I think it might have been her commissioner that they only have like 2 teams on their remaining schedule that have a winning record right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they could go undefeated.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know because the Charger game sticks out. They had a good time there. When you're gonna have tough games along the way. Falcons and Packers. The only thing I could say about this game, this was a 2006 offense versus a 2020 offense in every way. If I see Gurley run into the pack of linemen right at the middle in high form one more time, I'm gonna lose it. I don't get it.
How's that top 15 running back thing looking?
He's at 21.
He
had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He doesn't look great, but he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's just not the same running back.
No, they're not using him right. They got to get him. They're not using him in the passing game at all.
Okay.
He's not what he was a few years ago.
No, he's not what he was. None of us are what we were.
We were never
he's not what he was,
so.
but that wasn't the point. He's still what he was top 5 running back. But 98% of his snaps where he's received the ball has been run plays. He's not getting any work in the.
Okay, is this going to turn into the weekly Todd Gurley show?
No, you asked the question. Falcons' defense is terrible, but it was practice squad player guys. I mean, our defense is really banged up, just like a lot of teams around the league. Their teams are really hurt.
Excuses.
So the Packers. No, it's not an excuse, but the Packers didn't have Adams or Lazard either. So whatever. Rodgers looks good, of course. 4 touchdowns,
Looks great.
27 yards.
Rodgers looks great.
Yeah, Rodgers is – I hate saying it because he's probably my most hated NFL player. He's playing MVP caliber right now.
Yeah. This is a little bit of a teaser. We have a topic because we're already running over a little bit on this section, but we have a topic for a future show that I want to go over involving Rodgers expectations. So put a pin in that. All right, that's our rundown of the games. Detroit, our grievance that we had. We need to air it out. Go ahead.
Well, the grievance that I have, and I think this is what you're talking about, is why does the offensive player – why is he allowed to stiff arm and just basically grab onto the face mask and never gets called for it? Yeah. I mean, basically they're taking – if you watch close, it's like they're throwing a punch to someone's head, and then the defensive player's head snaps back. I'm surprised it hasn't been outlawed yet.
Yeah.
But it's aggravated me for years that they can hold on to the face mask and never get called for it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the holding on to it, but I kind of disagree with the stiff arm. I mean, the guy's carrying a ball, so he's kind of defenseless, so he's got to protect himself from getting hit somehow.
I think.
Yeah, but if you're a defensive player comes in and just barely taps the quarterback in the head, they're throwing 15-yard penalties, and yet you can take a blow to a defensive player coming at you. You just
the defensive player is coming at the offensive player, though. I mean, the quarterback doesn't know what's coming at his head.
Well, I just don't like it, but I like that you're arguing against it. Makes a good segment.
It should be a penalty to stiff arm an opposing player in the head at all.
No,
yeah,
you should have to stiff arm in the chest, stiff arm in the shoulder, whatever. If you hit their head with your stiff arm, if it looks, just like you would anything else. If they lower their head, that's something else. But if you stiff arm them in the head, it should be a penalty.
All right, that's a poll question.
I like it.
Twitter.
Yeah, I think it should be. Nobody's going to agree. Most people aren't going to agree with me because me and Detroit differ too on this. It was called twice. I saw it in the UCF game I was watching on Saturday, and I think the Raiders had it called against them on Sunday. Running back lowering the head to hit somebody, to truck somebody over. Should be a flag.
Yeah. I mean,
not because I think whatever, but I think it should be fair. If you're doing it to defend the players and player safety, a defender's body or head or whatever should matter just as much as an offensive player's.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I get it. But then the part that I don't like is like when a receiver catches a ball, his first reaction is to duck his head, and then the defender's already in motion to tackle the player, and then they'll end up hitting the guy in the head and flag on defense.
Yeah. Because
the offensive player ducked his head.
Yeah, but I did see it called for the first time. The running back doing it, lowering the head for a boom and getting it called.
That's good.
I think they're expecting to get hit high though when they make the catch. I think that's why they go down. But most of the time they get hit low and they go helmet to helmet when they do that.
Yeah.
But I just want equal justice, man. For the
I think
player.
they're always going to give the offensive player the benefit of the doubt since they're not expecting the hit.
Right.
All right. So that'll be a nice discussion point. Detroit, do you have power rankings for us before we get into the KDFL part?
I do, and last week I believe I did the power rankings of top 5 teams in the NFL currently. This I want to do something a little bit different since this was kind of a fantasy podcast, and I have a little catch to it too. Right. I want you to rank your top 5 players, your favorite players in the NFL that one is not on your favorite NFL team.
Right.
And you can only have 2 that is currently on your KDFL team. Because what you're going to end up doing if I don't make that in there, you're just going to name everybody off your fantasy team. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. I know it's my segment, but I'll go ahead and start. That gives you guys a little bit of way to think about it. So the first player number 5 that I have for me, and I hate saying this because he's on our evil commissioner's favorite NFL team, and that's George Kittle. Yeah. The guy is a beast. He will.
So is this number 5 or number 1? I'm sorry.
This is number 5.
Okay.
This is number 5 for me. He gives more damage to players coming in to tackle him a lot of times. He's just a beast. I would love if he was a Detroit Lion. Number 4 for me, and I think the reason why this is guy I'm picking here is because I got a lot of flack for drafting him in our league.
Oh man, this is a heartstring pick.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
He is Everyone kind of laughed at me for taking him so high or whatever, but he's played really well. I like it. Number 3, I have DK Metcalf's teammate, which is probably making my commissioner really mad, and that's Russell Wilson. I just love the way that guy plays. He chucks the ball all over the place. I know they get lucky on everything they do because of the Seattle Seahawks, but I just love the way he plays. Number 2 for me is part of the KDFL Buffalo Bills, and that's Josh Allen. A big fan of him. Love the way he plays. And number 1 for me is also KDFL guy that I drafted, and that's Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar.
Nice.
So that would be my Power 5.
Okay. All right. Phil, do you have yours?
I have 3 so far.
I have
you wanna
3.
go? Okay.
That's all right. Just take a little time there.
Let's see.
I just kind of threw this on to you
No,
guys.
I
You
like
didn't know
because
it.
what I want from this, segment is off the top of your head, and then you mess up. I need one more for number 5, and then I'm gonna be good to go.
I didn't take any defensive players. I was looking hard for a defensive player, but
I think my favorite defensive player is on my fantasy team, but I already have 2 from my fantasy team, so I'm gonna have to pass on.
Who's the one you didn't have?
What's that?
Who's the defensive player you're talking about?
Levante David.
Oh,
yeah.
He's been
I
my
like him.
favorite for a while. I think he's really good.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You have your 5 yet?
No, you can go.
Okay, I can do it. All right, number 5. I will go Josh Jacobs, running back for the Raiders. I like how he plays. I like how aggressively he runs, and
You just want to make Matt happy.
that too. Want to get him off my back. I'll make him happy. Josh Jacobs at number 5. Number 4, I have Dak Prescott, mega power quarterback. You do get a love for these the players that you have on your dynasty teams. Number 3, Christian McCaffrey, running back Panthers. Number 2, I think me and Detroit both have him at number 2, Josh Allen. And number 1, my favorite player not on my team, Mr. Deshaun Watson, now free quarterback of the Houston Texans. That's my favorite player to watch.
You know what's funny? I had all this time and I forgot all about Christian McCaffrey.
That's the funnest part about this because we're going to forget about people each week, and that's why this segment is awesome.
All right. Well, let's see. I think I can throw 5 together.
All right. Feel free to start anytime.
I think my number 5, I'm gonna go AJ Green. I've always liked him for some reason.
Okay.
He used to be on my team, but I traded him to Germ. I don't know. He always gets hurt, but I don't know. I still like him. Number 4, I have Christian McCaffrey as well. I mean, I get not like the guy. He's just amazing. My next 2 guys, actually, I'm gonna go Josh Allen, number 3. I really like Josh Allen. I didn't expect to.
KDFL.
I didn't expect to like him at first, but now I like him for some reason. Maybe because he's good. I don't know. And my top 2 guys are on my team. I had to do it. I have Derrick Henry at number 2 and Phillip Rivers at number 1.
Phillip Rivers.
Rivers. Wow. I like it.
Phillip Rivers.
Stafford was right there on the edge of my list.
Yeah, not
If I
mine.
had to do number 6, it'd probably been Stafford.
Yeah, I've always been a
Right.
Phillip Rivers fan for some reason.
Right. All right. Anything else before we run into week 4?
No, what would you think? Was that good?
That was a good
Power
one.
ranking? Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it.
I want to just keep mixing it up each week, and
Sounds good.
all right. So week 4,
favorite
are
candy
we ready?
bars next week.
All right, we can do that.
I'm just kidding.
All right, here we go. Week 4. We start in Dogtown, where the Dogtown Dobermans host the Cross Vegas Gamblers. Dalvin Cook continues his impressive season with 29. Odell Beckham pours in 3 touchdowns against them Cowboys for 38. But CeeDee Lamb has his big breakout game, 28 points, and the Cross Vegas Gamblers win 262 to 216. Next, we have my beloved Montrose Mega Powers going to Hurricane to take on the Wampus Cats. Dak Prescott, as we mentioned earlier, goes for over 500 yards and 40 points. Kyler Murray leads the scoring for the Wampus Cats with 26. And Deshaun Watson and Mark Andrews with his 2 touchdowns give the Mega Powers enough for the win, 230 to 190. Next up, we have the Polka Pharmacist going on the road to take on the 2-1 Charleston Methadones. The Tom Brady 5-touchdown game gets him 36 points. Derek Carr looking solid for the Methadones, leads his team with 23. But the running back or the wide receiver duo of Mike Evans and Allen Robinson combining for 48 puts the Pharmacist over the Methadones in an upset, 270 to 227. Next, we go to the Kanawha County Kings taking on the Commission's Glasgow Gunslingers. Melvin Gordon scores 26 for the Kings. Joe Mixon has finally arrived for the Gunslingers as he scores 42. And then on Sunday Night Football, Mr. Kittle with 40 points puts the Gunslingers over the Kings with a whopping 307. I can't believe a team has scored over 300 points. We have to simply mention it. And the Kings only scored 219. So the Gunslingers win big. Next, we have the 0-3 Roxana Renegades taking on the Nightdale Dragons. Will Fuller, welcome back. He scores 23 for the Dragons. Mike Davis, in his now lead back role, scores 22 for the Renegades. And Aaron Jones continues to impress, scoring 22 for the Dragons as the Dragons win 211 to 187. Finally, in our game of the week, we have the Marmette Midnight Riders traveling to the 3-0 Elkview River Rats. DJ Chark gets the Riders started off well, scoring 30 points. Aaron Rodgers destroys the Falcons defense, scoring 34 for the River Rats. But Darius Smith, is that how you say his first name? Darius Smith, whatever, scores 23 for the Midnight Riders from his defensive side. And the Marmette Midnight Riders give the Elkview River Rats their first loss as they win their game of the week, 222 to 207. And that, I believe, is the second week in a row. Correct me if I'm wrong, Detroit, but that's the second week in a row where the loser of the game of the week has also been the team eliminated from the KDFL Eliminator.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, if the Wampuscats had been already eliminated or
They
whatever.
were last week's game of the week, and they were eliminated.
Dang it.
That's it
Oh, well.
for week 4.
Your team is not good. I mean, let's be honest here. They're not good.
I can't get mad at this what happened this week because my team they didn't play well, but he had injuries. He lost Eckler. I lost Chubb. My team just didn't perform. So I lost Juju with the Steelers and 2 Tennessee Titans on defense, but it is what it is. We're on to next week. Let's go. I'm over it. I'm done talking about it.
I think you would have needed more from Lamar Jackson in that favorable matchup. 26 is a good number, but you're wanting 35 plus when he's facing a team like Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
What's our record on our picks? Considering you two picked against the Montrose Mega Powers, trying to send me to
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure after going back over this, because we had some different picks on a lot of these games.
Yeah.
I have us all at 3-3 last week.
I think that's right for me.
Okay. So Phil's overall record is 18-6, while me and you, Brett, are at 17-7.
Okay.
So Phil still
Mike,
got the lead.
the Marmette Midnight Riders at 3-1. I don't know if you saw the stat, but it's the last time they were 3-1 was 2003.
I did not see this coming.
Did you hear me?
2003, what?
Detroit didn't hear my joke.
I heard it. I just chose to ignore it.
Look it up. It's a fact.
Oh.
Look it up. Look it
What,
up.
he was like 12 years old in 2003.
I know. It's been a while. All right. Any other reactions? Phil, sadly, picking against himself in an embarrassing display of courage.
But he
wins.
did, I went back and listened to it.
Though.
Yeah, he did say in the last week's podcast that it was going to be closer than what we thought. So he was right about that. I did say Phil was going to win by 50. They didn't win by 50. So.
All
But a
right.
win's a win.
Win is a win.
I'll take it.
All right. So we're moving on to week 5. Let me get my right order up here. All right. First game.
Yeah, I got it.
1-3 Kanawha County Kings take on the now 2-2 Montrose Mega Powers. Troy, take it away.
I'm actually going to need you to have to start with Phil.
Phil, take it away.
You there?
Oh, man. Can you hear us, Detroit?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How's the
I can't
truck
hear
over?
Brett, though.
Somebody take it away.
Okay. All right. Mega Powers and Kings, huh? Okay. Let's see. Well, the Mega Powers are favored in 16 out of 20 positions across the board. Reeves does have a good matchup this week, though, for the Kings against the Chargers, or 27th in fantasy against quarterbacks. Cousins has a good matchup too versus Seattle, but it's Kirk Cousins, so that's probably not going to work out anyways. Most of the Kings team has a good matchup though this week, but a lot of his players just seem to be underperforming so far this season. And for some reason, I didn't do a lot of research on the Mega Powers, but I still have the Mega Powers winning this week. So
Detroit, good. Thank you, Phil, for
Yeah,
enlightening me.
I've been talking about. Oh gosh, stop. Yeah, I've been talking about how the Kings they're just gonna struggle to score points all year. That's going to continue at least till he gets McCaffrey back. I do think Jones is going to have a big game against the Bears, but in the end, I think the Mega Powers are too strong. So I'm going Mega Powers all the way.
Yep, I too am going Mega
Can you
Powers.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I too am going Mega Powers,
Okay.
of course. Just a lot of I mean, he's just like we've said, he has a lot of his team struggling. I don't like having two Colts against the Bears D. I think they'll get stronger as the year goes on. He does have Michael Gallup, and Michael Gallup should have a rebound game, but then I'll have some of that with Dak. And Calvin Ridley's not going to have 0 catches this week. So I have the Mega Powers getting the victory. Moving to 3-2 in the win, and in the positive in the win column. All right.
There's like a 3-second delay with Detroit for some reason.
I know there is.
I don't know what's going on.
More than a normal
I'm-
delay that
I'm
takes him
noticing
just to
that.
process things.
He's just slow. That's all.
Next
Is
up.
it slow right now?
Yeah, you're good. I mean, we don't know when you said that, Detroit. Next up, the 1-3 Hurricanes Wampus Cats travel to Roxland to take on the winless 0-4 Roxland Renegades. Phil, I'll let you start off.
Okay, I guess I'll start. Whatever. The Wampus Cats running back situation is still just kind of feels like it's up in the air. I mean, although Mostert is he coming back this week? I don't know. He could be back. Could have a good week if he comes back. Only thing I see though in this game that makes a big deal, I feel like it's a big deal, is that the Lions
Big deal.
want to buy this week. So the Renegades are gonna have to start Cal Allen for Matt Stafford.
They
Of course,
actually got
Galladay.
lucky that they have. I mean, not to interrupt, but they got lucky that Kyle Allen
that's
gets
true.
the starting job now.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean he's probably not gonna be that good, but
Yeah.
they'll get maybe 10 or 15. But of course, Galladay and Hawkinson are out as well since the Lions are on a bye.
Yeah.
And then the Renegades
I'm
also
sorry.
have several guys on defense that are questionable. So, I mean, I got to go to the Wampus Cats in this one.
I could just go to my phone on this. Probably make things a little bit easier.
No, this is
but-
much more entertaining. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, this is the week that everybody looks to see when the Lions have a bye, so they can hurry up and look at the KDFL schedule to see if they play Eric that week. So this is, I mean, there's really not much to say here with all the Lions out. I'm going with the Wampus Cats.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
The KDFL lottery has played, and it has landed on the Wampus Cats as the lucky winners of who gets to face the Roxland Alliance on their bye week, and it is badly needed for the Wampus Cats to get their second win. I, too, am going with Hurricane. Right now, they're a 50-point favorite. That line will come down some whenever we get these lineups set with whatever luckless soul we're going to throw in this lineup without the lines going. So, yeah, Wampus Cats, victory. Next up, the 2-2 Charleston Methadones looking to rebound off of their tough loss to the Marmette Midnight Riders, taking on the Dogtown Dobermans, the other 0-4 KDFL team. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, the Methadones had a down week last week, losing against the Pharmacists. But he's got some really good matchups this week. the majority of his offensive players are facing. I forgot to write down the number, so I don't remember. I think they don't face a top 10 defense. I think 7 out of 9 players, but I'll have to check on that. And of course, David Carr. It's a tough matchup against the Chiefs, but he should have to throw a lot, probably to keep them in that game, so he could put up some points. And the Dobermans are just not scoring enough points this season, even with Josh Allen, who has a good matchup again. But I mean, the Methadones are going to get the win here.
All right, Detroit.
Yeah, I think last week what hurt the Dobermans was he's got a lot of Steelers on his team. Well, so with Big Ben and Connor not playing last week, that hurt him. So I have to agree with Phil. I think the Methadones they're just too strong this week. The matchups favor them, so I'm definitely going with the Methadones.
If Josh Allen could do a lot against that Tennessee defense, that game could be pretty high scoring. But that game's high scoring. I mean, J.J. Brown will do big things for the Methadones. You guys are spot on with Carr and Jacobs getting the Chiefs and them having to score back and forth. Kareem Hunt, a much larger role in the Browns offense now with Nick Chubb out. And Russell Wilson's Russell Wilson. So as much as I would love to see Matt be the first win for the Dogtown Dobermans, I am going to have to go with the Charleston Methadones getting the victory here.
He would freak out.
All right, so let's start getting to some games that we may differ on. I think we've all been consensus so far. The 3-1 Elkview River Rats traveling to Poker to take on the 2-2 Pharmacists. Phil, take it away.
Well, will the Elkview River Rats lose 2 in a row this week? That's yet to be determined. Real quick, do you know who has the longest streak in the league without losing 2 in a row?
Let me guess, is it you?
No, actually, the Elkview River Rats.
Oh, nice.
It goes back to week.
Kiss of death, boys.
Yeah, you've went 29 weeks without losing back-to-back games. I think it was week 10 of 2018, maybe something. It was a little earlier than that, I think.
Impressive.
Impressive.
Yeah, so it's
impressive myself.
But anyways, back to the game. You've got Lamar versus the Bengals, who actually played pretty well against quarterbacks in fantasy. But I also looked up some history on Lamar versus the Bengals. His 2 highest rushing games in his career are both against the Bengals. That was in 2018, he had 119 yards, and in 2019, he had 152 yards. So he seems to run all over the Bengals, so I expect that to happen again. Carson has touchdowns in 3 out of 4 weeks. He should continue versus Minnesota. I don't see any different there. And, of course, Metcalf is like a machine with 4 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns every week, it seems like. I just don't think the Poker Pharmacists will have enough on their side to win this game, so I'm going with the River Rats to get the win here.
All right, Detroit.
Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome, Detroit.
Actually, I'm not liking my team this week, to be honest. No Nick Chubb. I'm having to run out there with Joe Flacco most likely this week as my second quarterback. If not, I'm going to have to throw in like a receiver or something like that. I don't think Darnold's coming back. I do like Carson and Jackson this week, like Phil said, and Metcalf. I think Brady and Evans should probably hook up a couple more times on Thursday night. I'm not liking my team this week for some reason, so I'm going with Polka.
You guys are killing me.
Why?
All right.
He's projected to beat me if you look at the stats.
He is projected to beat you by 4 points right now, so that's interesting. But his matchups, outside of if Brady and Evans can do something on Thursday night, that's something. But he's 49 years old. Those bones need a rest. Can't go right back on Thursday night, so I don't think they're going to be so dynamic. And also, a lot of people are hurt on that team, so we'll see. I don't like his matchups with Myles Gaskin. He has to start Chase Edmonds, although I do want to watch Chase Edmonds going forward. I think Drake could be in trouble of losing his job, and that could be a huge get for the Pharmacist. McClory's going to have Patrick Ramsey on him. That's no-go. So just because Lamar Jackson gets the Bengals, DK Metcalf gets Minnesota, Juju gets the Eagles, it's just I don't know where these projections are this way, but the River Rats are going to win this game, as much as I hate it.
You could be right on Brady though, because the Bears are giving up the second fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks this season. So,
But yeah, I could be right, but I want to be right because he's old, and it's Thursday night.
well, that's a
But
tough
while I
matchup
am right,
too,
I
though,
want
so.
to be right for the reasons that I am right.
Okay. Well, if it happens, it's both reasons. Sorry, can't be right.
Next up, the 3-1, the newly crowned 3-1 Marmot Midnight Riders, everybody's favorite team, taking on the 2-2 Cross Vegas Gamblers. Phil, take it away.
Well, for the Midnight Riders, Bridgewater has surprisingly looked good so far this season. He had 27 points last week against Arizona. He gets the Atlanta Falcons this week, who are last in fantasy points given up to quarterbacks, which is not good. So
Not good.
his running back situation still worries me with Latavius Murray and Rex Burkhead. And Baker and Keenan Allen, though, have really tough matchups as well. And on the other side for the Cross Vegas Gamblers, he has some really good matchups. 7 of his 9 offensive players are facing the 23rd or worst defense against that position. Dalvin Cook, though, has a tough matchup versus Seattle. But he's a touchdown machine, though, so I think he's going to keep that up as long as they can get close to the end zone. And then Wentz has just looked terrible. I mean, he's got an okay matchup, but he's just not looking good. All that being said, I think this may come down to a stat correction game. I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to go with the Gamblers this week.
Detroit.
Well, I'm just mad this week because the Marmot took me down, gave me my first loss of the season. So with that, I have to pick against them. I'm not even going to go over the players. I don't even care about the matchups. I just automatically have to pick against them. So I'm going with the Cross Vegas Gamblers.
Okay, we're gonna draw
it.
some ire here from Mike after being 3-1, because I too am going with the Gamblers, but for these reasons. Obviously, the wide receiver or the running backs for the Midnight Riders are in a tough spot. Keenan Allen, you would think they'd be able to focus on him, but he's been a target machine with Herbert. The only thing I really like is Thielen and Cook against Seattle. Seattle's defense is terrible. So Thielen should really, really be able to go off. And the Giants will be shadowing Amari Cooper, I would think, so CeeDee Lamb could have a really good game. Carson Wentz, I don't like that matchup against Pittsburgh, but I do like Daniel Jones getting the Cowboys. You can kind of throw on. So I am going with the Gamblers as well. Now, finally, our game of the week, the 4-0 Nightdale Dragons taking on the Commission's 4-0 Glasgow Gunslingers. I am going to say that this is the deepest 2 teams have been undefeated in season since 2012. Take it away, Phil.
Wow.
Always making up stats.
It's true.
We'll have to check on that. Detroit, can you verify that real quick?
It's true.
Sure.
Saw it on the internet.
I'm joking. All right, well, I really don't like most of my matchups this week.
Oh, here we go.
5 of my 9 guys. What?
Go ahead.
I mean, come on now. You're going to agree with everything I say here.
Go ahead.
Just listen. 5 of my non-offensive players face a top 10 defense in fantasy points versus that position. Seems like Matt Ryan is getting worse for some reason. I don't know. What's going on with Matt Ryan? Like, can you tell me?
Yeah,
No,
one rough game.
But I don't know. Anyways. It seems like Phillip Rivers is also getting worse, and he was never really that good this year, so it's not good. He has a good matchup, though, versus Cleveland, so maybe he can bounce back. I had to start Damian Harris this week because Aaron Jones is on a bye, so great. Then I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire against the Vegas Raiders, though, who are last in fantasy points for running backs, so that could be a good thing. But then you go to the other side, the Gunslingers. Jimmy G could be back this week. I don't know. Haven't really heard much, but he could play. If he does, he gets the Dolphins, which could be a great matchup. And then Devontae Parker's looking great this season. And he somehow picked up James Robinson for $0, who is averaging 20 points a game.
Yeah, I saw all that.
So that's really annoying. Oh, and then I forgot. He also has Patrick Mahomes, Joe Mixon, Ezekiel Elliott, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, and Greg Kittle. So I think the only chance I have this week is if several of my defensive players have huge games. And by several, I mean 4 or 5 guys with like 15 to 20 points each. And that's not going to happen. So the Gunslingers are going to get the win this week, and I'm going to fall to 4-1.
Detroit, take it away.
Yeah, I would feel better about this game if Phil had Aaron Jones going, but the Packers are on a bye. The Gunslingers are just too strong. I think Phil touched on it. I mean, his team is just loaded. I think the only way that Phil can win is if a lot of the Gunslingers get tested positive for COVID or something. I just don't see him pulling up the upset.
It could happen to Mahomes.
You
never know.
Yeah, that's true. He was next to Gilmore. I did see that. So, yeah, I just don't, like Phil said, I just don't not liking the matchups and not having Aaron Jones. And I guess Jamal Adams isn't playing because they have 0 points next to him. So,
Probably doubtful.
yeah, I'm going with the Gunslingers.
I was ready to go for the Knights. Or the Dragons. Sorry, I saw Nightdale. I was ready to go for the Dragons. Then I saw the lack of spirit, the lack of fight, and the lack of enthusiasm for his team in a 4-0 versus a 4-0 matchup. So look at this. Great matchups for the commish. Whatever. Gunslingers win. Me and Phil agree on all of our picks, which is depressing as well. Gunslingers win in this one, and the commish goes to 5-0. Phil, you got to rally the troops.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
That's exactly what I envisioned a Phil pep talk being. All right, so that's it for our week 5 predictions. Detroit, go ahead and give us your luck. Give us our records for your lucks of the week first, and then do your whole stupid thing. Go ahead.
Okay, so we all won last week. So you guys are finally up to 500 at 2-2.
Best sports bettors in the biz.
I'm leading everybody at a 3-1 record. But for this week, I can't believe I'm doing this. But I'm going to the ATL, and I'm taking Atlanta Falcons -1.5 against Carolina.
Oh,
I don't like that at all. Ugh.
I'm going with it. I have a feeling.
It's probably right, though, because the Panthers probably aren't as good as they played. So.
Yeah.
anything else? Anything else?
Well, I was just figuring you were going to sit there and yell at me for taking your Falcons.
Oh,
but
I have no words.
anyways, that's all I have, everybody. Watch next week. I think we might have a special guest. That's all I can say.
Very special guest, if so.
Possible special guest.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in, and everybody, Red Sox.
Bill.
Well, I was actually going to go the Carolina-Atlanta game too, but I'm going to pass on that since Detroit made that pick. I was going to go to Carolina to get that out there, though.
Well, you can still go Carolina.
Now I feel better about Detroit's pick.
No, I don't want to. I'm going to go the Titans, 8.5, plus 8.5 versus the Bills. I think Tennessee can keep this close. I think they'll score with them. So I think I'm going to go Titans.
So what is it, Titans and what?
Titans getting 8.5 versus Buffalo.
All right.
Did I lose my game here? I don't see it on here. Okay, well, Phil, tell the people how to get a hold of us. Sorry.
Yeah, man. Why don't you let me do my job?
You did a very, I'm done talking.
No, Detroit was asking me a question. All right. As always, you can follow the show on Twitter at KDFL Podcast. You can follow me at Phil Ruxy. You can follow Detroit at Detroit8374. And you can send him a blooming onion on there if you want to, a free coupon or something. I don't know. You can follow Brett, our host, at BrettStill2.
Whatever.
As always, you can leave us a message on Anchor, or you can call or text 901-609-KDFL. And you can also do that while we're doing the show. Usually we do that on Wednesdays around 6:30, 6:45, so you can actually live text us if you want. Maybe we can talk about it on the show. Just be sure to leave your name. That way we know who we're talking crap about. And that's all I have for you.
All right, so my luck of the week. I don't see it on here now, so I don't know if it's been taken off the board for a minute, but I am going to take the Bengals and take the points of 13.5 is what I last saw it at. So if I have to adjust my pick, we'll put it out there in the Twitterverse. But Bengals plus 13.5 going to Baltimore against the Ravens. I don't trust the Ravens this year as much, and I think that the Bengals are much improved, at least on the offensive attack. So they should be able to stay in some games. So that's it for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, for Mr. Phil Bruxy. I'm Brett Steele. This is the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast, and we will see you next week.